Shut up, universe.
Oh my God.
This Mercury retrograde is horseshit.
It is, you guys, trying to do a fucking podcast with Mercury in retrograde is...
Or just living.
Or living. That is true. Anything at life. Freddie, get out of the damn microwave.
Freddie!
Jesus. Sorry for all the yelling. That was aggressive, everybody.
2 p.m. and I have been awake since midnight.
Dealing with what, Megan?
Dog shit.
Dog shit. We both have a dog shit story today.
Like, don't let your dog get into a bunch of watermelon rinds.
No.
Because apparently that's not good for their tum-tums. Watermelon's fine.
Yeah. Well, don't, I don't know, leave for the weekend to give your dog anxiety, I guess, or do whatever, or feed the McDonald's. I'm unsure what I did. But my dog, we took her to get groomed today, and poor Jandy Bears had explosive diarrhea in the kennel after they were done grooming her. I tipped them extra good.
And our dogs haven't been around each other, so it's not like they have something. And my dog is just home.
Yeah, your dog's just home, and I mean, you guys have been in between, but I don't think you can carry dog.
No,
anything.
Can't.
Can you?
No.
Okay.
Because, guys, send prayers.
Thoughts
if
and
that's
prayers.
what you do, send prayers that the shit stops.
Literally shit.
Literal shit.
Well, also the bullshit, because I'm so done with fucking Mercury and retrograde. But when did it? Didn't it just start?
On Sunday,
Yeah.
which is the day I had a complete meltdown about life.
Oh, good. Well,
so it's been a great week.
I mean, it makes sense. That makes so much more sense for my Sunday too. So that was a hot mess express. But
It's fine.
Ay. Well, do you want to laugh?
You can try.
Okay, we're gonna see it. I feel like I'm gonna get you on this one, but we're gonna find out. If redbirds have red babies, bluebirds have blue babies, and blackbirds have black babies, what kinds of birds have no babies?
No bird?
A swallow. Got her.
Was that the super inappropriate one you were talking about?
No, there's there's another one.
No, we'll save that one for another time.
I mean, that's inappropriate, but there's another one that was way more inappropriate.
I liked that one. That was actually really funny.
What? Oh my God, I have a note written down here, and I was like, what is this from? It's from when, I want to say this is from when we were watching documentary, because we're doing some more watch parties.
You did. You wrote down something.
Trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. What was that from? Or did I write that? Who said that?
No, that was in the documentary. That's what it was. He goes, it's like trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
And that was like, oh God.
Oh man.
Feel our redneck.
It's gonna come out now.
I think it's worth it. Anyways, chicken salad out of chicken shit. That's what this week is. It's trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Because this week is chicken shit.
Chicken shit.
Mercury retrograde is shit.
I hate it. Hello and welcome to Lunatic Soup, the podcast where we go into all things wild, weird, and unknown. We're your host, Meg.
And I'm Raina, ready to brew up some lunatic soup.
Yep.
You didn't say let's go.
Oh,
you
let's go.
Throw me for
I said yep.
What? That's how over the shit Meg is. All right. So our cider today is from Canada, so you can't get it unless you go there, guys. But it is Growers, which is like my favorite brand.
Are you
there.
insinuating that we don't have Canadian listeners?
No, we do. I'm just saying, I'm more talking local people, I suppose.
Okay.
We do have Canadian listeners.
We do.
We actually have a bunch in the UK I just saw the other day, too. Ooh. I pulled up our that was funny, geographic stuff. Anyways, my bestie Jenna was over there for a wedding and sent me a picture of that's a cider spritz. So it's like it's lower calorie, which is not, we don't care about that.
It's a
but
little
less
bubbly.
Sugar. 4%, which is, not high, but also probably good for us because we got to be productive the rest of the day. But comes in a pack. This one is peach orange blossom.
Peach orange blossom.
And I have had a sip of this one. I haven't had a whole one, but
can either of us open these?
No. I did. Smells freaking delightful.
Okay, I really do got to get on I got to order all the stuff to make my own cider because my pear tree
is going.
She's almost ready.
Let's get on it.
Ooh, it smells really good. It smells peachy.
Just wait till you taste it.
That is really good.
It is like so refreshing.
Very light.
It's like you get the aftertaste of like the peach and orange, but it smells super fragrant. And then
really good. Well done, Jenna.
It is but it's very refreshing. That's
very
this is
bubbly.
Like the perfect sitting out in the summer. Like,
yeah,
on a lake. Like,
yes.
Can't you feel it?
Feel it.
on a fishing boat.
Although that tree is turning red. I know you said don't talk about the weather, Meg.
She literally, you guys, I was closing the window in the where we record, and she all of a sudden goes, "It's red," and I'm like, "What's red?" And she's like, "It's red," and I'm like, "Where are you, Jack Nicholson? Like, or what is it? Red Blood? What is that movie?
Red rum.
Red Rum. That's it. There it is. I get there.
We'll get there.
Lost a few sprinkles. All right. Well,
The tree. The tree is turning red.
the tree is turning red. Yeah, but I was like, Meg, chill out.
I'm not gonna. There's no chill when it comes to.
I know.
Yes. Where's my episode?
Up your button around the corner.
How dare you?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Go.
Shit. Richard was on the ground. I had to retrieve him.
Hey, Richard. Is your cousin staying in here tonight with Richard?
She is. I'm going to make sure that she has to snuggle with Richard. I'll put him in her bed.
On her pillow.
On her pillow. Yes.
Okay.
She'll love it. Hi, Richard. Love him.
Make sure you get some corn. Okay, today we are going alien.
Dun, dun, dun.
/conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
As one does. We're going to talk about the Roswell incident.
That's exciting.
Maybe this is what we need when we're in a shit mood.
I think it is what
no
we need.
sleep, you know.
No, and then just record and get a good cider. This is all we need is a good cider in us.
Okay, so we've all heard of Area 51, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of gives way to the super secret Air Force bases,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Area 51 is a classified Air Force base in Nevada, and it is about 83 miles outside of Las Vegas and on an area known as the Extraterrestrial Highway. I want to go there.
Go see all of them aliens flying around.
All of them aliens. The details of what goes on in this area is not known to the public, but it has been said by officials that it is just a training range.
Liars. Just like Antarctica is just a thing of ice.
I want that to be real so bad.
So do I think it is. You convinced me after our episode. I'm convinced Antarctica is not just. I don't know that it's necessarily a thing to another world, but there's something. There's something there.
I want it to be. I want it to be a thing to another world.
I want it to be that too, but there's something there.
Come on, Meg, get it together.
You can do it.
Uh-huh.
I have faith. Do you want me to read it instead?
Nope.
No, I don't either. Neither does anybody else.
So within Area 51, it is said that some interesting things go on. Some extraterrestrial things go on, and it is said that they house spacecrafts, UFOs. What does UFO stand for?
Unidentified flying object.
What does UAP stand for? Because it's not called a UFO anymore; it's a UAP.
UAP, unaffiliated. No idea. What is it?
Unidentified anomalous. It used to be anomaly. Anomaly. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Anomalous.
So unidentified.
It was aerial phenomenon.
Oh,
and now they changed it like last year so that it's space, sky, and under the water.
Dun, dun, dun.
Unidentified anomalous phenomenon.
We should do an episode on one of our wild weirds and unknown about like things people have seen in the ocean.
That would
because I stumbled upon a TikTok the other day of people or it was a Reddit thing of people saying the scariest thing they've seen in an ocean, and that was like, boo.
I have a relative that worked in the Navy, and he won't tell me what he's seen down there.
Yeah, because you think about submarines, you think about people on the oil rigs,
right? Yeah, but he said, "Tell you what, you won't find me swimming in the ocean."
I also just saw a TikTok where a great white shark was chasing a seal, and it was basically where you would be knee high. And I always say I won't go in past knee high in a sharky area, but now I'm like questioning my everything.
My daughter shouts up to me, "Mom, what's apex predator?" I'm like, "Why?" She goes, 2 were found in the Puget Sound. I'm like, "What?
What?
Oh yeah, she sent me the article.
What 2? Well, I mean, an orca is an apex.
2 apex predators discovered in Washington waterway for the first time, researchers say. A critically endangered soup-fin shark and several broad-nosed 7-gilled sharks. What's my greatest fear on this world?
Sharks.
Yeah.
That's scary because that means they're going to start swimming up because the water's going to get warmer, global warming, and they're going to make their way into. I don't like that.
Pretty soon they're going to be in Lake Taps.
I
don't like sharks
either. All right,
scary.
Back to aliens.
Okay, so Area 51, shrouded in secrecy. They have UFOs. Do they have? I just watched Independence Day on. Get it? Right for it. Independence Day.
Oh,
And
very Independence Day
yes,
video.
yes, and they're like, oh, Area 51. That's just a conspiracy. And then they look at the president. They're like, actually, Mr. President,
It's not.
it's not. And they go there and they have the aliens and they kill everyone.
Well, I think that it's possible.
It's possible. So where did the aliens come from that are allegedly at Area 51?
I'm gonna go with. I have a theory
Okay.
because I think that you didn't watch a TikTok that I sent you. I sent it to you yesterday. It was about the mall aliens in Miami. You remember how we did that?
Oh, I saw it getting in the car, and no, I did not watch it yet.
Because I feel like we're gonna have to watch it in a second because it has some theories that was interesting. But one of the theories was that there is an underwater alien base off the coast of like Florida. But
That tracks.
so I'm gonna go with,
Everything you've experienced about Florida,
right.
That
That
tracks.
makes so much sense. So I'm gonna go with that. The ones that are in Roswell are the ones from the
sky.
up there,
Yeah.
But then the other aliens are held in an underwater thing
Because
off the coast of
why
Miami.
do aliens have to be just from outer space?
They don't.
They don't.
I
And
feel like they're not.
That's why they changed it to anomaly. I can't say that word.
Anomaly.
Anomalous.
Anom-
Anomalous.
Anomalous.
Anomaly. Anomalous.
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Hip hop anonymous. Whatever.
But yeah, so my theory is those are either, I'm going to go with the ones at Roswell are either from the sky or like another actual dimension where they are like coming through some sort of portal that could be there.
See, that's where you get Antarctica for me.
Yeah.
Is the portal theory.
So maybe we'll go with that. Maybe Antarctica gets them through the portal there. And then the sky one's based in Roswell. Then the other one's based in off the coast of Miami.
So there's space, right? So that's space, and then underwater, it's underwater, and then in the sky could be the time traveling one or the
Middle Earth. I knew she was gonna get mad at me. The
how dare you?
The
Like you gotta stop doing this.
Hollow Earth.
No, but I'm saying like interdimensional travel.
Yeah, interdimensional.
Like
yeah.
when they talk about sky, air, interdimensional.
I think we just solved the alien.
We did. We did it, guys. We did it.
If
Feel
anybody,
free to call us CIA. No, actually, don't.
no, don't do
Please
that.
don't.
You could just call us geniuses.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just tell people to listen to our podcast.
Alien experts, if you will. Oh God.
Hey, so where I was going at with that was we're going to talk about the Roswell incident.
Yes.
Roswell, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
So in 1947, the United States launched thousands of top secret military balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests. A balloon crashed and metal and rubber debris was recovered by Roswell Army airfield personnel. That's it. That's it. That's the Roswell incident.
That's it.
We're
End of
done.
story. We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
So you have to remember the Cold War was starting to begin at this point, and the Army Air Forces was trying to deter them, if you will. So they were sending things to deter, and spy and listen in and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But after this happened, after there was this crash or this debris was found, the Army Air Forces, and it was the Army Air Forces, if you remember from our Men in Black episode, the Air Force wasn't out at this point. It wasn't, they were
wasn't
just
really a
putting
thing.
it together
Okay.
by the end of this year.
Okay.
So it was still the Army Air Forces.
Okay.
So they came out with an announcement by the U.S. Army stating that they were in possession of a, quote, flying disc that they discovered near a ranch in Roswell, New Mexico. The news obviously went crazy. It made international headlines, and the next day, they retracted all their statements.
Oh.
It was a weather balloon. Wait, we have a flying disc. No, we don't.
I feel like that still happens to this day where like something will come out in the news and then they'll be like, oh, just kidding. It was just, it's like, but then we all just have to believe it because like, what else are we supposed to do?
Or they say they have this big announcement to make and they say jack shit.
Yeah. Look
That's-
away. Look away.
Look over here.
Look over here. Don't look at that.
However, in 1978, a retired Air Force officer named Jesse Marcel said that the Army's weather balloon statement was a cover-up and that he believed there was indeed extraterrestrial debris.
Okay.
So in the 1980 book, The Roswell Incident, a story was published based on an extraterrestrial story that we know today. Yeah, we're going to talk about. So what I am talking about comes from that book, The Roswell Incident.
Okay.
Okay. The basis of the Roswell incident includes government conspiracies, concealing evidence, gray aliens, multiple crash sites, reverse engineering, and alien corpses.
Oh,
So there's a lot to it.
an alien corpse.
An alien corpse. It is widely believed among conspiracy theorists. I think they think that's us.
I think we are.
I think we are.
I wasn't one until we started this podcast, and now I had different theories on things and on a few things, but now I really think
It's just more fun this way.
I think I'm going
to
down
be-
some things I'm not a conspiracy theorist on, but then other times I'm like,
I don't believe the Earth is flat,
no,
but I do like Beyond the Ice Wall.
so do I.
I just think it's fun. I can maneuver my way around that.
Yeah.
So it's believed that the U.S. government recovered the debris from an alien crash site, including an actual extraterrestrial that they have been studying for the last 75 years.
Are they saying it's a dead one or a live one?
The dead one.
It's a dead one.
They said that they recovered it from the crash
So
site.
it's R.I.P. alien.
So sometime between June and July 1947, a rancher by the name of W.W. Mac Brazel, B-R-A-Z-E-L, Brazel, claimed to have found wreckage on his large property in New Mexico, around 75 miles north of Roswell. When I hear Area 51 or Roswell or a neighboring farm, I don't think very great distance. But we can be talking hundreds of miles here.
See, and
Because
I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere, right?
It is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
But it is such in the middle of nowhere that it's
like
super far away.
okay.
Because Roswell is, I think, a couple hundred miles from Area 51.
Oh,
I have it
really?
written down in here somewhere.
Oh
but
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because Area 51 is so isolated. That's like
It's so
and that's
isolated.
why that's part of like the theories because
Yeah.
there's so much of it. That's what my
It has to be out in the middle of nowhere.
in case the aliens escape and try and.
Didn't people like storm Roswell, or not Roswell, Area 51 a couple of years ago?
I feel like they did a bunch of them showed up there.
Like a bunch, meaning a couple dozen.
Yeah. With their tinfoil hats on.
So out there.
I mean,
Isn't there a plane from Las Vegas airport? There's a daily plane that flies out to Area 51.
oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're like bring tourists out and it's like a
Well, and there's been like some things about people like watching from their hotel room to see who gets on and off the plane.
oh, I
Like,
thought
'cause
this was
you-
like a touristy thing where they take them out there. Oh,
No, this is for personnel.
I mean that makes
workers.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know where I heard that. I heard that somewhere. I'm not sure where. Stories from that year were already like flying because
Mhm.
this is when the stuff here in Washington happened.
Yes.
Like all of that is happening right now. A lot of post World War II stuff, just all the alien stuff started happening.
Yeah, all
around
at
then.
once. Yeah.
So the rumor started that they had a flying disc and a flying saucer on these Air Force bases. So Mac thought that the wreckage he found on his field must have been that. He packed up the wreckage and brought it to the sheriff in Roswell, who then brought it to the attention of Colonel William Blanchard, who was the commanding officer at the Roswell Army Airfield. Oh, okay. So now the Army had this wreckage, right? So the military sent soldiers out to the property. They searched every inch of it, and they started pulling up armored trucks, filling them with
We don't know what.
we don't know, and taking off. And they took it back to base. The following day is when they made the announcement that the many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when intelligence officers of 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office in Chaves County. That was the announcement that they made. Can you imagine the military making an announcement like that?
No.
It spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Like all over the world, people were talking about how they had a flying saucer. They had one.
They had
the
one.
military had one.
They admitted.
And that's when the next day, the very next day, they're like, just kidding. Like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
It was a weather balloon.
No, we don't.
Yeah. It was a weather balloon. That's all it was. Why would you make a statement like that?
Because they were being honest and they realized that they shouldn't be honest. And they shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's what it is.
I mean, that's what I think. But, maybe I'm not the biggest believer in the government telling us the truth all the time. So
Really?
maybe a little bit.
You don't believe them? So what would they have to lie to us about?
I don't know. Fucking everything.
Food,
Everything. Anything.
politics,
Food, politics, healthcare.
healthcare. Oh, my husband and I just went into it about how bullshit healthcare was. We had a bill from over a year ago on an insurance we don't even have anymore because his company changed, and they just adjusted this month, and they want like 50 more bucks. I'm like, how do you do that? I don't know. Part of me is like, just pay the $50 because
it's
then it's gone. But it's like, how do you just adjust a year later? And so when my husband had strep, so it wasn't even like anything super weird.
I feel like you should at least call and be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, how do you adjust?
I guess
you don't even have them anymore.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what your like your level of time wasting is. But
my level of wanting to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like,
there's
is that worth $50?
Yeah. That's true. But also, it's like, what the fuck?
I know.
I mean, American healthcare systems are just bullshit anyway. It's insane. How much money we pay? It's like, it's literally, we're made to be sicker, then have to go there. Then it makes us be broker.
But they give you something. They give you something to cover up a symptom, but it gives you another symptom.
Nothing solves anything.
So then you have to take medicine for that one. Like, I had migraine medicine and it like upset my stomach so much. I'm like, I'd rather have the migraine and just lay low for a day.
Right.
If I can. Sometimes I can't, but like,
I mean, yeah.
Because I can handle that more than like, puking.
Right. Which puking. Oh, for sure.
But sometimes the headache makes me puke.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, there's that.
Which I don't know what to do.
I mean, I feel like it's a balance of all the different things and it's just all bullshit.
Everything's bullshit.
Yeah. And
all of it.
Then they want to charge you $1 billion for a doctor's visit. And or anything you need done.
Mm-hmm. So this is where, according to reports, it was Major Jesse Marcel that was the one to recover the materials from the sheriff and then oversee the investigation on the crash site. The next day, the Roswell Daily Record ran the story about the crash at the military base, and even the newspapers could not believe that the military said what they said about having flying saucers.
Like, everyone's disbelief.
Like, is this a joke? Is this like...
Because that's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. Did you War of the Worlds?
I've seen it. It's been a long time.
Not the movie.
Oh.
I used to listen to this every Halloween. So Orson Welles in 1938 did a radio broadcast called, it was War of the Worlds. And it was basically aliens are invading, and it was a dramatization. But they didn't portray it as that. And so people thought, I mean, there's all these stories that people like went crazy thinking that they were under attack. They jumped out of windows. None of that is actually like corroborated. But it was like this huge thing. And it's really fun to listen to it, actually.
It sounds terrifying.
But imagine listening to it in 1938 and thinking it's real.
No. Oh, well, I mean, the close example is whatever that fucking, we've talked about it before, but that not documentary, it's a movie, but where they made it like a documentary and it was about aliens. It was like The Fifth Element, or it wasn't
the fifth, because that
that
one's a great movie.
But it's not that. Fourth Kind. Fourth Kind. There it is. And I didn't realize it wasn't a real. It fucked me up, and thank God I finally realized it wasn't real, because I couldn't sleep for like days, and I finally had to Google it, and I was like, oh.
I gotta watch that.
It was. Oh, you've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Well, I mean, now you know it's not real, but it terrified the shit out of me because I didn't know. I thought it was a documentary. Like, that's how it was presented to us, and I like. Oh,
now I gotta watch it.
I will. I don't know that I ever want to watch it again, but it scared me so bad.
Ugh. So then the newspapers were even more confused when the next day the military came out saying it was a weather balloon, and they released pictures of Major Marcel holding the weather balloon debris of proof that it was not aliens.
Oh,
see, look, it's nothing.
Where do you find that?
Yeah, just
side of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The story has been filled with doubts for decades.
Yeah,
obviously. UFOlogists insisted that the government was covering up information and that they really were harboring the debris from an extraterrestrial spacecraft and possibly more. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force released another report. 1994.
Jesus.
From 1947. So 1994, the Air Force released a report stating that the weather balloon story, that was bullshit. Uh-huh.
In 94.
In 1994. In this explanation, the Air Force stated that the wreckage found was a spy device created for then classified project called Project Mogul. Have you heard of Project Mogul?
No, I have not.
Well, we're going to just learn about it real quick.
How did I know you were going to tell me about it?
Mm-hmm. I can pull it up.
I had a feeling I was going to hear about.
So Project Mogul was a top secret project of the U.S. Army Air Forces involving microphones flown on high altitude balloons, and their purpose was to detect sound waves generated by Soviet atomic bomb tests. All I picture is like Looney Tunes style.
Yeah.
A microphone like what we have here being held up by balloons. That's all I picture. And you know, it doesn't look far off.
It does not look far off.
But yeah, so that's what they're saying it was. They were just spying on the Soviets.
Oh.
So it's not a weather balloon.
Oh, it's a spy balloon.
It's a spy balloon. It's a microphone balloon.
But it landed in New Mexico.
Yeah. So just a bunch of high altitude balloons equipped with microphones that were connected by strings.
That adds up.
Very high tech.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The device was said to be created to float over the USSR. And maybe it did. Maybe they were successful. I don't know. I feel like we have much better technology now.
I think so.
Did we get it from the aliens?
I think we did. That's my opinion. I feel like we got a lot of things from the aliens.
Probably.
Aliens are literally like depicted in fucking hieroglyphics and all kinds of stuff. And it's wild to me that people who are so like science based can't like look at that and realize that half the shit that people are, it's not just like them making up shit. Like they're literally depicted places.
They built the pyramids.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was aliens, but
Well, they used if
it was aliens.
Yeah, well, maybe if they didn't build them themselves, they gave them the tools to build them. Like, you know, aliens were involved.
Absolutely.
There's no fucking way.
No, it wasn't
man.
just man. No. Mm-mm. My favorite Sunday morning activity of all.
Going to church.
Not. I mean, close. Close. I come down, I have a cup of coffee, and I listen to the good word of ancient aliens on the History Channel.
That's Mr. Boo Boo loves it too. I watch it. Like if it's on, it's something I'll turn on and like, you know, it'll be on in the background. But yeah.
I want to know how to become like what do they call themselves? Ancient alien physicists or something like that. Like that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do with my life.
Well,
I want to.
I feel like we have the right platform. Keep going.
I just want to study all this stuff that some people call horseshit.
I mean, I feel like that's
because there's got to be. Oh, is that what we're doing?
I think that's what we're doing.
Now, where is my paycheck?
From me? From where?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just asking.
But if you did do that, where does your paycheck even come from?
The aliens, probably.
So, if you guys want us to spread the good word, just kidding.
Spread the good word. I am a not a pastor. What am I? Reverend.
Oh, so am I.
I'm a reverend.
We can marry people. If anybody wants a Lunatic Soup wedding, you let us know.
It would be great. I'll wear my Bigfoot attire.
And I'll start it off with a dirty joke.
She would. She would.
I think it'd be a great time.
It would be a great time.
Mr. Boo Boo is also one. All three of us are.
We can marry people.
We really could. We'll start the Lunatic Soup
wedding video.
Well,
I'm a wedding photographer.
I am. I'm ordained minister. That's what we are.
Ordained.
It's you're
ordained. Let me pick the name, and I picked Reverend Miller.
Oh, Tex chose Padre.
I wish I was lying. Why?
Why not?
Okay, so Lunatic Soup weddings.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Except for I'm not doing wedding photography anymore. Sorry.
You have to, but you know how to get to one.
I mean, I could. If you paid me enough money, I could think about it.
$1 million.
Okay, I was gonna go like 10K, but which is what I was charging until I stopped. I know, but that was my highest package.
Yeah,
when I was doing it, my highest.
It's wild.
I know.
That's awesome. Awesome. The Air Force is saying that the weather balloon theory is malarkey.
Okay.
It was a spy balloon, microphone strings balloons.
Yeah.
To listen in on the Soviets if they were.
Rah. She bear. I don't believe you.
Cool. We're done. That's it.
End of story?
End of story. Except there were eyewitnesses to the Roswell incident.
Oh, Did they lose their tongues?
They claimed that they were looking on over the fields at Mac Brazel's property, the guy who owned the ranch, at the time of the incident, and watched as military came in and saw what they identified as alien bodies being taken away in armored vehicles. All I picture is like, you know, well, I mean, I guess it's the 40s, but in my head, it's like the 80s, and there's a bunch of kids, you know, coming up over the hill.
Like the Stranger Things.
Yeah,
like that
that's
vibe.
exactly what I think of.
There's this one season of we've talked about it before, of American Horror Story, where they cover this, like the whole president and alien stuff.
Really?
And it's like fucked up. It's American Horror Story, so it's fucked up, but it's like. And it's the whole episode or the whole season's not about it. It was a weird season, but it still is like, I don't know.
I've never watched that show. I watched part of the most recent one with Kim Kardashian.
So we watched part of it. We were diehards, and then after a little bit, we just started, we were like, okay, it's either got way too fucked up, like really bad, or it just was like not.
It was boring.
Yeah, it wasn't entertaining. Like,
there's a bunch of shows. Like, I'd like to try that one. I also need to, This is going to come as a shock to a lot of you. I have not watched the show Supernatural.
I mean,
sorry.
Neither have I.
Well,
I know.
I watched a couple episodes. I watched the first couple episodes. It's right up my alley.
I know.
It's hard for me to sit down and watch a show sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have never. Meh.
But that's like, it's about all this stuff.
See, but it's all fake about it, though, right?
Well, okay, so the episode that I did watch, it was one of the earlier episodes, and it was about a Wendigo, and it was pretty accurate.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is a drama. So
yeah.
I love watching paranormal shows that are like real footage, that kind of stuff. I will watch that shit all the time.
Real footage.
Okay, or like CCTV footage, or like, I mean, you see some, or the ghost hunting shows, or like those. I like the reality shows about them.
You like the reality shows.
I don't like the dramatization.
I don't know. I think you'd be surprised how much of those shows are actually acting.
Which I do know that. Like, I'm not dumb, but I just don't find, like, from my entertainment factor, I don't.
You want it to be more realistic.
Like, I just don't find the other ones I mean, I've never tried that show. Maybe I would get into it. I don't know. It's not my. I don't know.
I just need something to put on at night when the kids go to bed. Ha! That's a joke. I'm always in bed too.
I got my TV in my bed, and that's when I watch my best TV.
Oh, see, as soon as I hit that pillow, like,
no, not me.
Night for about an hour and a half, and then I'm up all night.
Oh, see, I have to stay awake for an hour and a half scrolling my phone and then watching TV before I can even close my eyes.
Really?
Oh, I have to decompress.
Maybe I need to try that. Maybe I need to force myself to stay awake, and then maybe I'll sleep through the night.
Maybe.
One can try.
It's a good thought. I don't sleep through the night though, but I usually 3 a.m.
Yep. Between like 1 and 3, I'll be up for at least 2 hours.
Why don't we hang out?
We should.
And we live so close.
We should. We'll just meet in the middle.
You awake? Want a cider? Would you like some lunatic soup?
Why'd you turn the alarm off at 3 o'clock in the morning? No reason.
Escape.
Yeah. Just climb out the back window.
Yeah. It's fine. We'll just go hang out.
Yeah. Okay. I like this plan. Never gonna happen.
No, but it's a good idea.
We can talk about it. In 1997, the military/government came out with more details to follow up on the report from 1994, which was the declassification release. And they had a reason for eyewitness reports.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the, quote, alien bodies that were being taken away in armored vehicles, no. They were parachute test dummies.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
That adds up.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like the military's making it worse.
Right. Like, can you give us something fucking plausible? Like, believable?
It's like, I say to my kids, if one of them's being a butthead, which happens a lot, doesn't matter which one.
Yeah.
One of them's usually a butthead, and another one is putting energy towards, stop doing that, stop that. The more you focus on something, the more it's going to become an issue.
Right.
Maybe the military should have just...
They should have just shut the fuck up about it, and it would have just gone away.
Because now they're just kind of feeding the fire a little bit. Oh, but we saw this. Oh, that's actually...
That was just a test dummy. Bullshit.
They titled this document from 1997, Case Closed, Roswell.
Well,
that's it. That must be it.
Done.
Done.
Case closed.
So the military made a very cut and dry case to the situation. The eyewitness reports say something very different. Like they're still like, no.
We saw it.
So it's probably why we still hear about it to this day. The owner of the ranch stated that the debris he found could only be described as, quote, out of this world. The metal was incredibly lightweight, like a sheet of paper, and it was indestructible. He said you could crumple it up and it would crumple in your hand. And the second you let it go, it right back to a flat sheet.
Wow.
This was also acknowledged by Major Marcel in the military, the same type of metal. So now we have the rancher and we have the major from the military.
Both saying the same thing.
Both saying the same thing. The military allegedly tried to destroy the metal by burning it, hitting it with a hammer, etc. They could not destroy it. It was indestructible. In 1978, Major Marcel was being interviewed by a ufologist and stated that the material found at the crash site was extraterrestrial. He stated that they recovered an I-beam. So like when you're looking straight at a craft, it looks like an eye. It's like a support beam. It's steel beam of a craft. And he said that the I-beam that they recovered had strange pictures / writing on it, what he described as hieroglyphics, but no hieroglyphics that anybody has ever seen.
Okay. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. You mentioned hieroglyphics a little while ago.
Yeah.
What's strange is that those who served with Major Marcel in the military, they always referred to him as a straight shooter. He was very reliable, good at his job. He wouldn't have fallen for this. He wouldn't have been going down the conspiracy.
Yeah, he's just not.
scene.
It's not his guy. He's not,
I don't.
not
I
the
mean,
kind of guy.
you know people from the military. I know people from the military. Like
Majority of them are. They're not.
They're not. They're very.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the Air Forces.
Yeah.
So. Both the rancher and the military personnel are saying the same thing about the metal, which leads that there must be some truth to it. Now, there was more people that saw the crash site, or should I say crash sites?
There's multiple.
There were two,
Oh,
which I didn't know that before reading into the Roswell incident. So in Roswell, there were two crash sites in the area, probably within a day of each other. No one quite knows the exact timing. The second crash site was about 40 miles away, which to me, 40 miles away seems like
That's
that's to Seattle. But
Yeah.
they're talking about it like it was right down the road.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, when you're in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
it's just how open it is.
Mhm.
It's like it's just the ranch next door.
Yeah.
The fire department got an emergency call that there was a possible airplane crash in a field. So they loaded up thinking that they needed to put out like a brush fire, have rescue personnel, they had no idea what they were walking into. But they got there, this is not what they saw. One of the firemen claimed to have seen a disc-shaped craft that was partially destroyed but still recognizable. He said that the metal was something he had never seen before. It was lightweight, easily bendable, and sprung back to its original shape and was incredibly strong. That sounds an awful lot like this other metal that we had been talking about.
Yeah.
There were also 3 beings outside of the aircraft when they arrived. 2 were clearly dead, but 1 was alive.
Oh.
The firemen described their faces as a look up Jerusalem cricket.
Oh dear.
You'll know it when you see it. But he
Okay.
said their faces were like Jerusalem crickets. They were small stature and grayish skin. And he said that if you were to just pass them by, you would have thought they were children. You see the Jerusalem, you see how their faces are shaped? It's like
Yeah.
what you would think of as an alien.
The fuck? These things are terrifying. What the shit are these?
Big old bugs.
Holy God, those are huge. And no, thank you. You know, I don't mind the Spideys. I don't like that.
But you see their face, how it's got like the shaped eyes and that designated shaped head.
Yeah, it reminds me of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when they like see the ants. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm sorry. The fuck?
Oh man, that's like the size of a hand.
They're huge.
No, thank you.
These things, Google at your own risk. Ugh.
Ugh. So he said that they were small enough that you would think that they were children.
Yeah.
Grayish skin, that shaped head. We've heard of these creatures
Yeah.
before. The being that was still alive, he said he seemed to be like emitting this sorrow and deep sadness, and the firemen could only assume it was because he was mourning the deaths of the other two that were there.
Oh.
Pretty quickly after the firemen got to the scene, the military showed up and told them they had to leave and not mention this to anybody they saw.
Don't speak a word.
The fireman, though, he took a piece of the wreckage and he put it in his pocket and he left.
Oh, dear.
An army man on the scene, Sergeant Marvin Brown, had come to the scene a bit later and was told to clean up. When he got there, there was a tarp covering something on the ground, and he was told, don't look under there.
Did he?
What do you think?
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Don't look under that tarp. I want to look under the tarp.
I always want to.
I want to touch it. They're going to look under the tarp.
Don't look under there. Of course that's what you're going to do.
I'm going to go right over.
Zero impulse control.
None. I don't care if you're in the military. I don't care. There's a tarp with something clearly under it.
And you suspect it's an alien?
I'm looking.
Yeah, 1000%.
I'm looking. Send me to jail. At least I'll know.
Yeah.
What he saw, he described as two alien bodies. He described their faces like that of a bug. So, Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Cricket. They were small stature and had gray skin. So he's describing the same exact creature that the fireman had described.
Mm-hmm.
The fireman, his name was Dwyer, he gets home and he shows his family the medal that he took from the site and the story of what he saw. He was explaining this to his family, to his children. He had 2 daughters that are within the story. He could have had more.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that aliens do exist. Soon after, Dwyer's daughter is home with her mother and her sister, and 2 military men show up and come in and sit down at the table.
Here come the men in black.
Yep.
Not so much.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So military men came in. They asked the mother and the one daughter that the dad had initially talked to come sit at the table. And then the other daughter was sent out into the backyard with the other military man. Absolutely not.
No
Are
way.
you fucking kidding me? I don't care who you are. You are not taking my child into the backyard.
So what happened?
Well, they don't really go into much of what happened with her. I think he was just, quote, watching her while they talked to this other kid and her mother. I don't care who you are. I don't care what military clearance you have.
Just saying, maybe they gave her the good old Men in Black flashy flash. You forgot now.
Nope. What?
Hmm?
I don't know.
Squirrel.
So they were in the kitchen. The daughter tells the man exactly what she saw, how the metal looked and what it felt like and what it did, that her dad had brought home, the fireman.
Mm-hmm.
And the military man said, no, you didn't. Now, this was, a country girl. She's not going to lie. And she was upset. She's like, she's like, no, that is what I saw. I'm not lying. And he began to get agitated and became threatening to her and her mother and said that if the military wanted to, they could make her whole family disappear. So these 2 military guys threatened to kill a little girl and her family over what? A weather balloon?
And a dummy?
And a crash site dummy?
That's not suspicious.
So the parents, the fireman, his wife, they never mentioned this again. So obviously they got to him too.
Mm-hmm.
They never mentioned it again. It wasn't until later in life that the 2 children, now grown up, came forward. In 2012, an old house was being gone through and cleaned up, and some slides were discovered, like projector slides. They were found some very interesting pictures in them, close-up photos of President Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm.
So it was military and government, and some of the slides looked as though there were alien bodies in them. People freaked out. This was proof, right?
Yeah.
It was a hoax.
Oh,
Somebody planted it in the house, hoping that it would be found.
idiots.
The alien body was actually a mummy from a museum that, just as a mummy, deteriorates, it starts to kind of look like an alien.
Yeah.
So I think that's the hard thing about these stories is there are so many hoaxes. There are so many planted things from people who think it's funny.
You're really fucking up our paranormal world. Like, we really want real answers.
I just want the real stuff.
Yeah.
I don't need your stupid mummy picture.
Yeah, I don't want that shit.
Multiple reports from people in the area at the time say that they saw objects in the sky that night, and some saw what they described as crashes, reported them, hence why the fire department was called out.
Yeah.
How many of these reports have become legend and lore and stories will
Right.
kind of, pass down over time.
Exaggerate a smidge.
So another theory is that the crash was not a UFO or U.S. military craft. I'm going to give a trigger warning right here because
Okay.
this is some World War II creepy shit.
Okay.
Like we talked a little bit about this in our Dyatlov Pass stuff.
Okay.
And so, but I think it's an important theory to talk about because it's one I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
So it was a way to introduce widespread panic from the Soviet military, primarily from Stalin. There was a book called Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top Secret Military Base. And in the book, an unnamed source told the book's author that the entire project, the whole Roswell incident, was designed by Nazi concentration camp Dr. Joseph Mengele.
Mm-hmm.
Again, trigger warning. According to this unnamed source, children were deformed by Soviets to resemble aliens and deployed in an aircraft over New Mexico. And according to the book, Stalin's plan was for children to climb out and be mistaken for men from Mars. Panic would ensure the Americans' early warning radar systems would be overwhelmed with sightings of UFOs, and that would be their time. Isn't that the most horrible thing you've ever heard? But would that be surprising?
No, and that's what I think is the worst part is that like, okay, which one of those is worse?
I know, like the fact that somebody came up quote with that story, or the fact that we would believe it,
or the because no, I'm saying like that I believe that.
I know,
yeah,
that it's like it's not. Yeah, it's horrific, but it's not surprising.
No, that's just
because they've done horrible
things. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all.
No, but that was the first time that I ever heard that theory.
Oh,
and I hated it. But it's another theory and another.
I mean, it's a theory that, like, if we're gonna go along the alien theory, that's an actual theory that I feel like is plausible because they did some fucked up things, and if you don't think they did fucked up things, like just look into it's that, but there's evidence.
Everybody should know about the things that they have done because
horrible shit.
We don't want history to repeat itself.
No, we're getting close though.
A lot of experts agree that this theory is unlikely, as there are no records of this from the Soviet Union, and if the intel was to cause panic, it backfired completely and maybe even had the opposite effect.
Right.
Caused intrigue, not panic.
Right.
I don't know if you would find record of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
I would rather it be aliens, 1000%.
It is speculated that the debris and bodies recovered from the Roswell incident were transported to this top secret military base some 750 miles away.
Jesus.
To Area 51.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that far.
I didn't realize it was that far either. Because of this idea, the area has now been bombarded with conspiracy theories and UFO sightings for the last however many decades. We'll never know for sure what happened in Roswell or what was recovered from these crash sites, but obviously the government is covering up for something. What could it be and why would they cover it up? But Roswell today has completely run with this whole alien trope. Every year they have a festival. It's become a hotbed for UFO sightings, and there's even a McDonald's that is in the shape of a flying saucer. The streetlights are alien themed, and there's a statue of an ET family that's like broken down on the side of the road.
I mean, I love that.
On the freeway.
That's fun.
So yeah, that's the Roswell incident. Yeah.
I just feel like there is no reason, like the government, what they've said obviously is like them covering something. Like it's not real. So like what is it? Like that's wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going.
Do you have some stories that you found?
I did, but I want to show you this TikTok actually, because this TikTok, which I will explain it to you after I show it to Meg. It brings it back to Stargate.
Oh, Project Stargate.
Project Stargate, when they were having people do the
masterpiece with James Spader.
No. Our episode, Kurt Russell. Our episode, Project Stargate, when they were having people do the remote viewing.
Oh, okay.
So it ties that in
to Roswell,
not to Roswell, to aliens.
To aliens.
So just we'll explain it in a minute. So this TikTok is just basically this girl saying that they did the remote viewing, they got coordinates, which is what this is how they would do the remote viewing. They would give them coordinates, and then they would tell them to use the coordinates to describe what they saw.
Wow.
Right? That's what it was. from what I recall.
Yeah. That's what it
And
was.
so she's saying that this is one of many alien things from around the world, and it's
around the world.
and it's called the Titan. And it's
Titan.
off the coast of Florida. It's on the opposite side of Miami. But like her theory is that the aliens escaped, obviously, you guys, I know that. Escape. It's funny. It's spelled just like the word escape. Name the movie.
Nemo.
Good job. But yeah, so her theory is that they got out and like made their way over to the mall but it's directly across.
Way downtown.
Walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound.
Walked into my eldest child yesterday watching White Chicks.
Oh, classic.
She goes, that's where that meme comes from. I'm like,
This is like my child, and she had a towel on her head, and she goes, I look like Mother Teresa. And I said, do you know who Mother Teresa is? And she goes, Jesus's mom. And I was like, no.
From the mouth of babes.
From the mouth of babes. I was like, good job, though. Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, anyway, back to the aliens. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't find anything about the Titan base.
Yeah, it'd be something to look into. But yeah, so basically that was just her saying that they did remote viewing, and there's documents where they did remote viewing about alien bases.
Right into that area.
And so basically this is just saying that there is multiple places around the world where alien things.
When she said alien bases from around the world, not in space, not like around the world.
Us in the United States like to think that we are the world. Not us personally.
That's
but
another song I could go into. I will spare you all.
But I just think that, thinking that we are the only ones who could have possibly contacted aliens, have an alien something that is like a theory. It's like how we talk about the folklore of different places.
Yeah.
That it's everywhere.
It
sure
comes from somewhere.
But we just don't know because we've never I'm sure there's alien stuff from everywhere.
And it seems like there's a big uptick of alien activity after like war or when we're getting too close to something like, atomic bombs.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Coming to come save us.
Or they're just like, man, we've tried to leave them on their own, but they just keep getting themselves in a whole heap of shit.
These damn humans don't know what the shit they're doing. We better come and save them again. So they don't annihilate their whole race one more time. We can't build them back up again.
Yeah, we only have so many back in storage.
Dumbasses. And I'm sure they have southern accents like that too.
Of course they do. Obviously.
Oh, God. Well, I liked that one. That was a good one.
Interesting.
Yeah?
It's interesting. I'm trying to incorporate more alien stuff because I want more of the soup.
I really would like to actually look into, and maybe I will do a little research on my own, but like to see like, or if you are from another continent, like are there like alien theories similar to like Area 51 on your continent, like in where you guys are from?
I know there's some over in Europe, but
yeah,
and I'm sure Russia has.
But that's what I'm saying. But if we could ever find out, and I should ask an Australian. I think I know some.
Do you know any?
I think so.
Okay.
Sausage, let us know. He just sent me something, like literally right before we started recording that we got to go watch because I don't know what it is, but it's probably good.
I'm writing a Bigfoot around the world episode, so we do need to get in touch with Sausage.
Get him on. I'm gonna I'll make him.
Okay.
He said he's going to. He listens, so it's gonna happen. Anyways, well, that was a good one. All right, you guys. Well, if you want to find us on social media, you know what to do.
Find us on all the things Lunatic Soup Podcast. Socials, gmail.com.
On the YouTubes.
Give us a goog. We're there.
If you do Lunatic Soup, we're the first thing that comes up.
First thing.
We didn't used to be. Now we are. That's exciting.
Woo!
Lunatic Soup. These bitches.
We've got only a little bit left of summer before the tides change.
And then it really is Lunatic Soup season.
Yes!
With some Fireball.
Woo!
Dun, 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 dun. All right.
Remember, guys, in this crazy world,
it's good to be a lunatic.
Bye.